Hello everyone, Adrian here. So yes, I'm finally going to make a video talking about goth music, and specifically because it seems to be an issue that is on the rise lately. This specifically is going to be a video on what the hell do I do if I can't find goth music that I like. I know that it is a tendency for a lot of goths to venture forth toward the traditional, like, 80s post-punk type of goth music, and then they listen to it and think, oh my god, this is so lame, this is what goth is supposed to be, I hate it! And yes, unfortunately, for a time in my life, I did fall into that trap as well, and I really regret that because I spent time forcing myself to listen to these bands thinking, oh my god, if I don't listen to these bands or if I don't like these bands, I'm not goth. What do I fucking do? For those of you who think that only that very small category of goth music is what goth is, that ain't the case. There are so many different types of goth music that are out there, and it does take some time to discover it and find something that does make you happy and speak to your soul. I can give you an example from my own life that you may possibly relate to. So obviously you guys know that I'm training to be an opera singer. So even before I decided I wanted to be an opera singer, I still had a fondness for classical music, and I did in the same way for the classic 80s post-punk goth bands for a while. But after a while, it all started to sound the same to me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm really bored with this shit, I don't like Mozart, what do I do? What the hell do I do? And so I was going to visit my aunt over in Ocean Park, Washington, and she had a friend who was a voice teacher, and I was about 15 or 16 years old, I think I was 15, and she pulled out one of these like ivory colored books from her library of sheet music that was extensive, absolutely. And I said, oh, what's that? So I look at the cover and I see this handsome Italian man on the cover, and I'm just like, who is that? I've never heard of this guy. It was Donizetti. And the first song in Italian I ever started learning was Amore e Morte by Donizetti, and I was in love. So that was kind of my experience when it came to discovering goth music that really resonated and captured my heart. And whenever I hear that music, and whenever I listen to it, and whenever I even discover other goth bands that I absolutely love, I have that same feeling of kind of finding out who I was through what my heart and my ear likes. So this is where you come in. Okay, so you listen to the bare minimum of the post-punk period, that is the very start of goth music, and you think, this is what goth sounds like, I don't like it. So what would I suggest? My best suggestion for discovering goth music that you actually love, genuinely love, would be compilation CDs. I'm not joking. And the one that I found that really resonated with me, that really had a wide variety of music that I positively could not get enough of, and led me down the rabbit hole of all of these different kinds of bands that I had never even heard of in my whole life. This was just a whole new journey of discovery for me, and it was just so thrilling. I loved it. So what is this compilation that I recommend? It's called The Unquiet Grave, The Ultimate Goth Collection. So you can find it on iTunes, you can also find it on Amazon, and possibly Google Play. I'm not sure about that one. However, you can also listen to it for free on YouTube. Yes, it is available on YouTube. So I would highly recommend seeking out this collection of goth music. At the very least, go to iTunes or Amazon or wherever it is that you buy your music digitally and listen to the samples. Do yourself a favor and listen to the samples. Start out with that. And if you find that you like what you're hearing, you like the different types of goth music that are being represented here, fucking go for it. Look for the name of the band who wrote that particular song that you like, go look it up on YouTube, look it up on Amazon, look it up on iTunes, and go freaking find it! Go find it and let your heart just burst with joy at discovering some new goth music that you actually love. 'Cause that's awesome. One of the best examples of finding a goth band that I genuinely do enjoy is this CD called Haunted, and it's by the band Stare, which was one of the bands that was on this Ultimate Goth collection. And the song that was on that particular CD by them was Bell, Book, and Candle, and it's incredible. I absolutely fell in love with that song, and the more I listened to it, the more I realized it was inspired by The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, which made me like it even more. I really love it. That is just one example of a band that I found that I absolutely love from exploring these compilations that are absolutely rich with such a wide variety of goth music. It's so diverse. There's something in there for everyone. However, the only downfall of checking out these compilations is that sometimes these bands that are part of these compilations are so obscure that they only exist on these compilations. They don't have their own albums that they've put out, and that makes me really sad. For example, there was this band on this same collection by all of these goth bands that I love called Immortales Amor, which is... I don't even know how I would describe it, but it's really awesome. And they wrote the song called Invocation, which I loved. I loved the sound of it. And then I tried to search and search and search for other CDs that they've done. Hopefully entire CDs that they have done. All to no avail. However, when I was looking for other songs and music by them, I came across another compilation CD, which was goth music inspired by the stories of Edgar Allan Poe. And I just ran around my house and squealed with joy upon discovering that. You have no idea. And the song by them on that CD was Closer to My Death, which is inspired by The Pit and the Pendulum. And then I also come to find out that they were a part of yet another compilation, which was inspired by the 100th anniversary of Dracula. And that one also, lost my mind because it was awesome. So here's an example of that one specific band that led me down the rabbit hole of these other songs that I ended up loving. Check this out.
How I long to sit upon the throne and to be one with the sacred rose. I'm the finite, I'm the circle, the infinite, and I am the square. Adonai Aharetz, hear my prayer. Aching
one tiny example of finding something that really resonates with you. Again, go explore, go discover, seriously. And this is one of the reasons why I do videos on Gothic literature, is because I want people to discover these new books that don't fall under the category of just ghosts and vampires. No. And this is the same reason why I set this exact mindset toward Gothic literature. I don't want you to, you know, read Dracula by Bram Stoker and think, oh my god, this is Gothic literature, I don't like this. No, I want to give you guys more options and more variety for Gothic literature. Stuff that rocks, okay? So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope that you will seek out your own compilation CD that you really, really love. Seriously, you're going to discover a whole new world of goth music that you probably didn't even know existed. It's great. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will be offering some more videos on 19th century culture, which has influenced goth in some way, which I absolutely adore. You know, absinthe reviews, Gothic literature reviews, even some videos on classical music and opera, and all that fun stuff. It's freaking great, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed and hopefully learned something, and I will see you guys later. Bye!